comfortable summer I've ever had.
Yeah.
And thank goodness it's almost spring.
We just actually upgraded. We're just in the process of upgrading our solar because we realized our solar, which is like, yay, solar energy. We're getting about a third of the amount of solar we're supposed to be getting based on because our system is a little old and we didn't realize that. And it has been insane. The amount of heat and humidity up here. I'm pretty sure one of our air conditioning units has been running 24/7 since the beginning of summer, if not a little beforehand. It's been crazy.
Sure has. So, yay, don't want to wish my life away or anything, but yay to summer being nearly done.
Yeah. We were talking to someone on the weekend about our wedding, which for those who are long-time listeners may know, my partner and I, amazing Michael, is getting married on the 31st of August this year. And we're very excited about it. And we chose that date because it's winter. Well, it's kind of the end of winter, so it's not hot, it's not cold. It's like the perfect time so we can wear amazing clothes and not sweat like crazy people. And
Yes,
so
the last
because
day of
we are
winter. Perfect.
we're like, but we don't want rain. So we're like, end of August is perfect. But
It's going to be
it has
wonderful.
been insane. We've got a neighbor who is a South African, amazing guy, and he's like, "What is with this weather? We have dry heat. We don't have this horrible, like I get out of bed and my body sweats. Like, what is going on with that?
I know, so much.
It's
So
so
much.
bad."
So, speaking of which, Jenny, I'm really, really excited about our topic today and about, you know, that you and I both really believe in the CEO day and stepping away from your business, or actually not stepping away, even immersing yourself in your business one day a week. But for this topic today, it's talking about stepping away from your business and taking some time to focus on your business and really deep dive into what it's all about, pulling it apart and then putting it back together. But with an expert coach guiding you the whole way, asking you the tough questions, maybe making you cry. I've seen people have tears at your retreat, but good tears, not bad tears. So I'm really excited to talk about this with you, particularly as you've got a retreat coming up super soon. So let's talk first of all, though. I'm imagining you've been to some amazing retreats prior to running them yourself. So what do you think you really got out of them and what made you want to offer them yourself?
It's a really great question. And I think when I first started my business, I always had this idea of being able to have people away so they can focus entirely on their business. I had seen business owners that I'd worked with as a sales manager and with other businesses that I'd worked in really struggling to find the time to focus on what's important to them, whether it was sales, whether it was their finances, whether it was their branding, whatever that was. And so when I first started my business, again, those who've been on our journey with us know that I created my company when I was in Barcelona in 2017 actually, 2017. And at that time, I'd met Lisa Nichols and an amazing woman, JB Owen, who is a phenomenal entrepreneur and philanthropist in Canada. And through those connections, I was invited to Lisa Nichols' very, very first immersive mastermind. So she'd always had people wanting to do it. She's an incredible coach and she ran a mastermind. So I got to sit behind the scenes as essentially their back office person. I had an amazing, we've got Brendan and Andy who support us, or Jess who support us on our Empire Builders now. But back then, I was that person doing the food and making sure everyone was on time and had their workbooks and everything was set up perfectly for them. And that experience over 3 to 5 days. So I was there 3 days of the mastermind, but I was with Lisa Nichols and JB Owen for 5 days. I got to see everything that goes into creating the workshop, the conversations before, in between, after, and then observing that mastermind. And what it showed me is what I'd always recognized is that when you can actually take time away from the day-to-day grind, that kind of overwhelm or the worry of the business or the busyness of business, and focus for 3 days, 2 days, even sometimes 1.5 days, just focusing on your business, the amount of benefit and value it brings you as a human and also your business is almost, it's almost exponential, right? So you might pay whatever you pay to go for those 3 days, but you're getting 24 hours of connection with a coach. You're getting incredible wisdom and value from the conversation with other entrepreneurs. And so when I sort of started my retreat in 2019, when we started our first Empire Builders, it was about recreating that amazing experience. And so we did our first experience 2019 September. We've got a number of clients who've come back several times since then. But what it's about and what the key focus is it's not about stepping away from the business. As you said, it's actually about stepping away from the busyness that you feel becomes your day-to-day grind, right? We hate that word grind, but that's what happens. We get stuck in emails and client responses and what do I need to do here, here, here? And you sit in your kind of schedule, as opposed to stepping back and saying, where am I at? What does my business need? Where do I want to go? Do I really want to have this business? And answering all those big questions to enable you to create a plan for the future. And so that's why we started Empire Builders. And so this is the third iteration that we have on the 23rd to 25th, as you said, of February. It's coming up in a couple of weeks. And it's an opportunity to really focus everything on your business and decide what I want to get out of the business. What do I want the business to become? And how do I plan that over the next 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years?
Jenni, what I love so much about what you offer, and having been there, participating and also presenting on, branding for you and stuff like that. What I love is the small group, so that you don't feel like you're just a number in this big sea of people and not getting attention. I love that then the attention goes to you, me, whoever it is, for example, and then other people can also chime in too. So people all they all are potentially our customers, and well, sometimes. So they all have different views on stuff. But for what you offer is so great for whatever kind of business that you're in. And I think that's what is one of the things I've loved the most, is that we meet some incredible people, but they're from so many different walks of life.
And I think that is, you've nailed that kind of exactly the whole point of a mastermind. It's not just about me coaching an individual or having one coach. You essentially have a room of people who are reflecting and listening and sharing their thoughts about your business in a really productive way. So it's not like that kind of bad review or good review on Google saying, well, I wish they'd done it like this, or I think you should do it like that. What we found over the last couple of years delivering the workshops is that everybody sits and immerses themselves in everybody else's business. So they start to say, well, I love how you're describing this, but as a customer, have you thought about X, Y, or Z? And so what they're getting reflections of the conversations in this kind of 360 fishbowl, if you like. And so it's a constant conversation. And what I completely love, and after running 5 or 6 of these over the last couple of years, there is zero judgment. So I've never had anyone sit there and go, well, I don't like what you've said because I feel judged, because everybody is wanting to be vulnerable. Everybody's wanting to share. And it comes from a place of everybody wanting to grow together. Whether, as I said, whether there's a business saying, actually, I've realized I don't want a full-time business, I'm happy to stay a hobby, to someone recognizing this business is bigger than I ever imagined. And now I'm taking it to a whole new place that I never even imagined I would take it before coming to the workshop. We can cover all of those spectrums in the one conversation, because you have that 360 fishbowl conversation. And it's a pretty much 2.5 to 3 days of absolute learning. And so without the overwhelm.
Absolutely. Although I will say there is overwhelm, but in a good way, because I come in feeling super calm about my business, but excited to start unpacking some stuff. Then there comes a point during it where I feel super overwhelmed. And I'm like, actually, what's going on in my business is overwhelming me. I just have chosen not to look at that. And then when we really look at it and we look at the areas that I need to focus, and then what's so good is then I get clarity. And then I go, actually, I don't even like that part of my business, but I really love that. So then we can unpack, what would that look like if I really deep dived into that part and actually forgot about the bit that doesn't bring me joy or enough income or whatever it is. And then by the end of it, there's no overwhelm. There's complete crystal clear clarity on where I'm headed. I've got a plan and I feel really confident with what's next. So I think that's a really important point, is that you're going to feel all the feels all the way through, and you'll feel them for others too, which I think is really special.
I love that you said that. And I guess I say, when I say no overwhelm, because my brain says I start here and I finish with no overwhelm, but you are correct. And I think when I reflect on what you were just saying then, it's kind of like when people join your programs, whether your online programs, where you give them their 1-day masterclass and you're sharing all the knowledge together, and they get to unpack the elements that they need to do, and they focus on particularly key aspects, whether it's their brand or whether it's their social media or their email marketing or whatever it is. They deep dive into a specific topic so they can identify the gaps in their business. So we do that. So you do those over beautiful 1-day masterminds in the workshops you do. We do that over a weekend. And so, yes, it's probably true that some people do feel a little bit like, oh my God, what am I here for? But I think one of the reasons that they work so well is because it's kind of like going away to a retreat. So we have beautiful accommodation, we have amazing food, we cater for everyone. Like, I think the very first workshop we had a vegan, we had gluten-free, we had a celiac, like, so gluten-free to celiac, slightly different. Then we had a vegetarian, and then we had someone who couldn't do spices or any kind of, anything, because it upset their stomach. So we had to cater for everybody's needs. So the whole point we do that, and the reason we take our time and care to do that, is because we want people to sit in the room and be in the room and focus on their business, and not have to worry about, do I need to go find a particular food tonight, and where are we going for dinner, and do I have my favorite glass of wine, or do I have my favorite Coke No Sugar or Pepsi Max or whatever it is. We cater for everybody's needs from a heart-centered human perspective, so they can channel all their energy into their business, because we so rarely get that opportunity. So it's Monday. We had Super Bowl day here in Brisbane. So my partner and I went to a charity event for the business. And this morning was all about, watching the Super Bowl in LA, right? Or Las Vegas, sorry. But for us, how often do we get to take 5 hours out of our business to do that, let alone 3 days to say, actually, I'm just going to focus on what I need from my business, whether it's sales, whether it's marketing, whether it's structure, whether it's actually, I just don't even know where I'm going, or I don't even know why I'm doing it anymore. All those questions we kind of park and push to the side because they're difficult questions to spend time on. And so what I love about a retreat, in the same way that you do whole day masterminds, it's actually about saying, here's 8 hours to focus on a topic, and there's nothing else except that topic. And when you can focus on that, and we know my favorite word is monomaniacal from Robin Sharma, when you can monomaniacally focus on a particular area, it gives you that clarity that you're looking for. And it actually, that overwhelm spike that you talked about goes away so quickly, because you do get that clarity and focus. And that's really what we want out of our retreats.
Absolutely. And I've seen people in tears at your retreats but like for good, right? Because they realize that trying to find, and that's what I think is really good too, is that you're not running a retreat that's like a life coaching, it's business coaching, but life is what's happening to us all around us all the time. Yeah. So there's tears when people realize, I actually can make this work, and I can be a mom, and I can do this, and I can do that. I can do all the things once my business is set up correctly, once I have the clear plan and path of where I'm headed.
And I have to say, one of my favorite examples of that, and I'm hoping she doesn't mind me sharing it today, because she knows she tells people that she's been to retreat, is the amazing Ash from The Happy Therapist, right? Watching her come to our workshop, and she's an amazing life coach. She can unpack people's values. She knows how to really tap into that human-centered kind of deep-seated kind of challenge people has, and she does it in such the most beautiful and caring way. But she's never, from my observation of that workshop, is she hadn't turned that on herself, because it's hard to do that yourself, right? It's hard to ask those same questions to yourself, particularly when you're a coach. And so watching Ash grow and breathe and see the value that she brings, and recognize her value in the world in a completely different way from that business sense, was one of the most satisfying and gratifying things as a coach I got to witness over those 3 days that we had in September last year. And it wasn't, she didn't change her business structures phenomenally, but what she started to recognize is the value that she brings. And if nothing else, a retreat or a mastermind like that, like we offer with the Empire Builders, is about actually recognizing your value in the world. And whether that's from a financial perspective, whether that's from the revenue and what you're going to charge from your pricing packages, or whether it's actually recognizing you can create a whole new source of income from that passion that you have, That's what's phenomenal about a retreat or a mastermind, is that we help to change your world, whether it's from time, resources, connection to the work that you do, or simply recognizing, hang on, I actually want to only do this 3 days a week. So how do I structure my business so I can have 3 days on an incredible, successful business and 4 days with my family? That's what's amazing about these retreats. Most people say, you must work 7 days a week. You're a small business owner. Bollocks. We can create whatever business you want, right? You just have to take the time to deconstruct it, as you talked about earlier.
Absolutely. And one thing I found, which of all the retreats I've been to with you, is one thing everybody has when they walk away is way more increased self-confidence, way more value of themselves and what they should be charging and what they're worth. And you're very, very clever and good at reminding people that our IP is worth so much. It's not just about the time spent with us, if you're a coach, for example, or the package that you've bought. It's the stuff that's gone in behind the scenes that's so valuable.
And you've hit that nail on the head. I think we forget the value of our intellectual property and the time and effort we've put into it. It's my favorite proverb, like the old man sells, has a young man he's kind of, mentoring, and he says, oh, well, I'll give you this client and I can take that client off your hand, is the young buck. And he's like, oh, well, you can just give me the phone number and I will sort that out for us and I can grow that. And the man says, well, it's $10,000 for the phone number. And the young buck says, well, that's ridiculous. You're doing nothing but giving me the phone number. Why would it cost $10,000? And his response is, because I have the phone. And the moral of the story is, it's taken him 30 or 40 or 50 years to cultivate the relationship, to get that phone number, to build that trust, to be able to have that knowledge. And by handing over just simply a phone number or a process or a simple form, is actually more than just the document you're sending. It's all the work that's gone into it to build that. And that's what we try and make people recognize, is even me as a coach. You and I as coaches, we're very young in our 50s, right? So we're young, not quite there yet, but we're young in what we're doing. But it's taken us a lot of time to get here. And we recognize our value, we recognize the worth that we bring to the world, and we want other people to do the same thing. And so noting and recognizing that, whether you've been a coach for 5 years, 15 years, or 30 years, that knowledge and that cycle has value. And you don't just want to give it away. Yes, let's create some PDFs and some lost leaders and some great marketing campaigns with our funnel. But you also have to recognize that your worth is the conversation and the relationship and the trust that we build with people. That's actually what people pay for. They don't just pay for the knowledge. ChatGPT, Google, Bing, whoever you look at can probably give you the same information that even you or I provide. That's not what you're paying for. It's the whole package and the way that we share that and bring up your own knowledge. That's what a retreat or a mastermind is for. It's about building confidence. You said that before. It's about building understanding of your worth. But more importantly, it's about recognizing why you're playing in the space you're playing, right? And if you understand that, then there's no limits to what you can do.
Absolutely. I just couldn't agree more. So how can everybody get involved, Jenni, to be able to come to your retreat? Hopefully they're in Australia and it'll be an easy turn up, but realistically, you've still got 10 or 12 days to organize flying in from overseas. So tell everybody where it is and what it's all about and how they can get it.
So at the moment, we're still looking at Cabarita. We love the Cabarita space down in northern New South Wales. It's on my country, my Bundjalung country down south. So it's 23rd to 25th of February. It's 3 days. We start around midday on the Friday to allow you to ease into the workshop. Friday's a big day of that kind of values and mission and really deep diving into who you are as a human and what you want from your business. And then we help unpack that and rebuild that over the next 2 days for your business. So 23rd to 25, February 2024. If you're in that kind of northern New South Wales, southeast Queensland region, or as you said, anywhere in Australia or overseas and want to come and join us, we still have a couple of places available. Our standard rate, if you go to our website, elephantintheroomau.com, it's 3,500 plus GST. However, if you would like to get involved and you're listening to the podcast between now and then, reach out to us on our socials. So DM us on our Insta or our Facebook, and we have a very special deal of 15% off that price. So it's a last minute kind of sale. So from $3,500, we'll take 15% off that. And then it allows you to come and enjoy. And that's food, accommodation, and the coaching. Plus, we do a couple of special things after to make sure that everything we've shared with you is, planned for you and you have a plan for the future. So we would love a couple of other people to join us. We do have a couple more spaces available. So if anyone is interested to do that, reach out to us on our socials and we'll send you the special code.
How cool. One thing that you just said then I think is really important to amplify, which is that you don't walk away from it, go back to your regular life, and then you're done. There's the follow-ups with you, there's the one-on-ones, there's the group. So you're fully supported all along the way.
And I think that's where and this is, I think, why you and I kind of connected so many years ago, Kylie, is that you and I have the same approach to the way that we like to coach, right? It's not a quick and dirty, get in, get out, I'll give you the information and go do it. We want to see our businesses, we want to see our clients succeed, and we want to see the people that we work with, grow and build their confidence. And so 100%, it's not just about the mastermind, that session for 3 days. We do a strategy session beforehand, and we do 3 coaching sessions at a minimum after. And I say that as a minimum because sometimes we've done these workshops and we've had businesses say, look, I just need that little bit of support. And so we'll do that. We'll run an extra group coaching session if everybody's all in for that, or we'll run an extra one-on-one if someone is stuck. And we also have the amazing team. So I have Macy and Kelsey and Helena who are around to provide some support with the administration or whether it's some systems. So we feel our job is to support you end to end, not just to take your money, give you 3 amazing days and then say, good luck. We want to see you succeed. And I think that's, as I said, that's why you and I think, are aligned, because you do the same with your Shine membership. You do the same with your workshops and the memberships you do. We want to see that holistic approach. And that's, I guess, how we've designed our business, and that's how we like to run our work.
Absolutely. Very aligned there. So I do hope that people listening are hearing this before the end of Feb so that they can jump on in and get involved. But if not, there are more opportunities coming up, I'm sure, in a few more months to
There is.
We're
hoping to run 3 or 4 this year. So we are running Empire Builders 2 as well. So those who've been before will be able to come back and do Empire Builders 2, where we kind of level up the conversation we had from our first retreat. And that's looking to be the end of March. And then we will continue running Empire Builders 1 so we can feed into the people who want to grow. But I do want to shout, I know we're talking about our workshop and I love our Empire Builders workshop, but I still want to shout out for those who are listening. If you cannot take 3 days away and your focus is on digital marketing, look at the Shine membership that you're doing, Kylie, because it's the same thing, right? If you're digitally focused and want to focus entirely on building your membership and your digital presence, that's what your Shine membership does. It's the same process. We're just looking at the overall business and you're deep diving into kind of marketing and their digital marketing process.
Yes. So one thing we've just added, and next week's the first Thursday. So everything to do with Shine's on a Thursday. But there's a little extra bonus that's happening every month from next week onwards, and that's a 2-hour afternoon session, which is the content hub. So people can jump in, jump out as much as they want in that 2 hours, or stay for the 2 hours, work on their content, and then we help them schedule it. So whether that's a week's content or a month's content, you know how, Jenny, we always talk about, you've got to put it in your calendar and you've got to make it happen. We don't want to have scenarios where you're sitting there at 9 at night going, oh, I haven't posted for 5 days. This way you're going to get it done, but you're going to get it done with support and then get it scheduled.
I love that. And that's the thing that we both agree on. I guess this is why we love these conversations that we have, because it's not just about knowing the knowledge or knowing what you need to do. It's actually creating the systems and the structures to enable you. It's not empower. I hate that word, empower. It's actually about enabling. We're giving you the tools and systems to show you how to do the work you need to do. So, and I think that's the cool thing about whether it's Shine membership, whether it's your amazing deep dives that you do in your masterclasses, or it's our Empire Builders 3-day workshop. It's about saying you're coming along and we're going to actually make you do the work. We're not just going to share some great food. We're not just going to have fun. We're actually going to make you do the work. And that actually builds confidence. It builds the muscles that you need for your business. And it means you leave more successful and with a better focus than when you started. And if that's not the best coaching program in the world, I don't know what is.
Thanks so much. Appreciate that, Jenny. So thanks everyone for listening. Next week, got quite an exciting topic that I thought we'd introduce. So many people know about their Google business profile and the free one-page website you can set up on that. And it's so good if you actually don't have a website at all, that you've got it as a landing page.
Yeah.
But it's going away as of March. Google are taking it all away. So I thought it would be a great opportunity for us to talk about what can you do if you don't have a website and you need a presence other than just social media, because obviously that is not enough for anyone. We need to have something, even if it's just a one-pager, like a business card. So I thought it's a great opportunity to talk about that next week with this big event happening from Google.
And I love that because, and this is why we have our conversations. And those who haven't seen, we always like to try and bring you the most current, up-to-date information. Go to Hello Media Facebook page, hellomedia.team, because they keep you up to date with all of these incredible changes. But I agree, the changes to Google Business Profile, I still call it Google My Business. I know I'm old school. I know it hasn't been called that for many years. It's still stuck in my head. However, those changes to that system and what's happening there is going to be significant, and it's free marketing. So how do you actually access and take advantage of that in the absence of Google My Business or Google Business Profile? Definitely tune in next week, because that is a game changer for businesses. And it really does allow you to grow your business profile and show up from those people who are saying, hey, I've heard about Hello Media. Where do I find that? When we click on Hello Media, we love to see that it comes up on Google. So how do we maximize that going forward? If you haven't heard about it, definitely tune in for next week. It's going to be a really important topic for this year for you to tune into.
Cool. I look forward to chatting about that with you.
Thank you so much, Kylie. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this episode of Bite Size Business Live podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us so you don't miss any future episodes, and so you can go back and listen to our previous episodes. Thanks again, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye, Kylie. Bye.
Look forward to it.